The organism the crew names Calvin begins as a dormant Martian microbe, fragile under the microscope, yet brimming with potential. Each cell is brain, muscle, and sensor combined, turning every fragment into a complete, self-sufficient creature. Fueled by trace glucose in the ISS atmosphere, Calvin grows from invisible speck to starfish-like predator within hours. Its intelligence evolves as rapidly as its body. Tools meant to contain it become instruments it quickly masters. Heat, shocks, chemicals, every attempt at control only sharpens its adaptability. Evolution and learning blur into one seamless process of survival. Physically, Calvin is a disturbing fusion of jellyfish and cephalopod. Its translucent body stretches thin enough to ooze through vents, then coils into cords strong enough to snap bone. Fire, vacuum, acid, none of them stop it for long. And cutting it apart is no solution. Each piece simply lives on as a new Calvin. In attack, it weaponizes oxygen, rupturing suits or sealing throats to harvest blood for fuel. It maps the station's systems with uncanny precision, sabotaging life support to stock unseen. Every move reveals the same goal: escape orbit and reach Earth, a paradise of endless resources and no predators. The Harvesters from Independence Day are a parasitic alien empire driven by conquest and extraction. They arrive not to colonize, but to strip entire worlds of their resources, drilling into planetary cores to harvest energy. To them, planets are nothing more than fuel for their endless expansion. Their fleets travel across galaxies aboard city-sized motherships, each carrying swarms of biomechanical craft and legions of towering insectoid warriors. At the center of their hierarchy stands the Queen, a colossal being whose psychic will binds the entire species together. Every harvester fights and moves under her command, making the swarm act as one mind. Physically, the aliens are tall, spindly, and armored with chitinous plates, their limbs jointed like insects, yet strong enough to crush humans effortlessly. Their true scale, however, lies in their technology. The mothership in Resurgence measured over 3,000 miles across, capable of generating its own gravity, pulling entire cities skyward before smashing them back to Earth. Humanity discovered only one weakness: the Queen herself. Without her psychic presence, the swarm collapses into chaos. Yet the Harvesters have already consumed countless civilizations across the stars, and unless stopped permanently, they will continue their campaign, world by world, until the galaxy is empty. Husk. In District 9, the aliens derogatorily nicknamed prawns are not the familiar image of invaders. Instead, they serve as a metaphor for marginalized communities. Their massive mothership hovers powerless above Johannesburg, and rather than being conquerors, these beings become refugees, forced into a squalid, segregated zone that mirrors the real-life townships of apartheid-era South Africa. Their insect-like, unsettling appearance makes them easy to dehumanize, and that's the point. The film confronts the audience with the idea that when the other looks too alien, exploitation and cruelty are easier to justify. The advanced weaponry that only prawns can operate symbolizes both fear and suppressed power, technology that humans covet but cannot control. Christopher Johnson's story highlights the humanity within the inhuman. Beneath the shell of a so-called monster is a father, an engineer, a leader determined to save his people. His relationship with Wikus, who himself is slowly transformed into a prawn, underscores the film's central message. The line between us and them is fragile, often manufactured by prejudice. District 9 is therefore more than science fiction. It is a mirror held up to society, exposing how power defines who is seen as human and how quickly empathy disappears when survival and fear take over. The Q are a mysterious ancient alien species in the sci-fi setting All Tomorrows by C.M. Coastman. They are basically the ultimate intergalactic troublemakers. Instead of conquering planets the normal way, they looked at humanity and thought, what if we just made these guys really weird? So rather than wiping us out, the Q played space gods, genetically twisting humans into bizarre, horrifying, and often humiliating forms. Imagine waking up one day to find your entire species turned into lumps, worms, or even furniture. That was the Q's idea of fun. And it wasn't a one-time prank. It became an obsessive art project. They behaved like cosmic bioengineers, but with the mindset of a 5-year-old who just discovered Play-Doh. Their cruel masterpiece? Human carpets. Some unlucky people were reshaped into living rugs, existing only to be stepped on by alien overlords. Think about the existential nightmare. Once capable of solving equations, now reduced to lying flat and waiting for footsteps. Why did the Kyayu do this? Science? Power? Deep philosophy? Nope. They just enjoyed messing with things. And like all bad house guests, once they got bored, they left, abandoning a planet littered with nightmarish evolutionary dead ends. The arachnids, or bugs, from the Starship Troopers films are towering insectoid predators native to the world of Klendathu. At first glance, they seem like mindless animals, yet their species reveals remarkable adaptability and coordination. Their society functions as a hive, where countless soldier types serve distinct purposes: warriors for combat, plasma bugs for artillery, and tanker bugs for brute force, while higher castes such as brain bugs and a queen orchestrate their swarms. With millions of years of evolution behind them, arachnids have become nearly indestructible. Scientists even describe them as a perfect life form, endlessly adaptable, ferociously aggressive, and capable of rapid reproduction. Their colonization strategy is equally terrifying, launching spore-like capsules into space to seed new worlds with eggs, spreading colonies across entire star systems. Legends among soldiers speak of an insect god ruling over the hives, suggesting a unifying force behind their endless expansion. The arachnid quarantine zone spans multiple systems, perhaps galaxies, filled with countless colonies. When unleashed, they can overrun a planet within hours, their hive mind driving them with relentless focus. Against such a threat, only the heaviest weapons, able to pierce their armored shells and shatter vital organs, offer any hope of survival. The Tyranids of Warhammer 40k are an extragalactic swarm species, a living ecosystem forged from countless insectoid bioforms. Though each creature looks different, all share the same genetic code, functioning as one vast superorganism. To them, the Milky Way is nothing more than a buffet of DNA and raw matter. Their fleets, entire armadas of living starships, cross the void, guided by the all-encompassing hive mind. When a swarm nears a planet, trillions of spore pods rain from orbit, unleashing waves of engineered horrors. Hormagaunts charging trenches, massive trigons tearing up from the mantle, and titanic biobeasts toppling fortress cities in minutes. Every Tyranid has a role: soldier, artillery, aircraft, even the ships themselves. And every corpse, friend or foe, is drained of biomass to feed the next generation. Synapse creatures like warriors, hive tyrants, and the dreaded Norn Queen tether the swarm together, turning instinctive beasts into a flawlessly coordinated army. Exterminadas, orbital bombardments, even orc invasions only delay them. Each surviving spore carries genetic memory of what destroyed its kin, ensuring the swarm adapts and never repeats mistakes, unless a permanent solution is found, something even the Imperium, Eldar, and Chaos have failed to create. The Tyranids will strip every ocean, forest, and city into biomass before drifting on to consume the next galaxy. Boris the animal, the last of the Boglodites, is one of the deadliest foes the Men in Black ever faced. Imprisoned for 40 years on the moon, he escaped with one purpose: erase his defeat and avenge his people. Twisted by hatred, Boris is less a soldier than a force of vengeance, driven to rewrite history at any cost. Physically, he is terrifying, humanoid in shape, but marked by mottled skin, jagged teeth, and predator's eyes. His true weapon lives inside his arm, a symbiotic parasite that bursts out like a clawed spider, firing deadly spikes and tearing through armor and flesh. The fusion of host and parasite makes Boris a nightmare of both brute strength and bioweaponry. What sets him apart is not just power, but obsession. Time travel itself becomes his weapon, as he strikes at Agent K in 1969 to unravel the defense system that doomed his species. To the Boglodites, Earth is a target ripe for conquest. To Boris, destroying K is personal justice. In the end, Boris represents vengeance unchained, an enemy who refuses to die, whose fury spans decades, and who proves that sometimes the greatest threat is not conquest, but a single creature consumed by hate. King Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon of legend, is the ultimate rival to Godzilla. Known in the Monsterverse as Monster Zero, it is not of Earth, but a cosmic invader, frozen in Antarctic ice for millennia before awakening to reclaim dominion over the planet. Its arrival is not merely an attack, but a coronation, an alien king demanding submission from all life. Standing over 500 feet tall, Ghidorah's wings blot out the sky as storms rage in its presence. Each of its three heads is semi-independent, snarling and striking with predatory cunning. Its golden scales crackle with electricity, channeling devastating gravity beams that rip through steel and stone. More than strength, Ghidorah exerts psychic dominance, emitting a bioelectric field that forces other titans to kneel, turning Earth's monsters into soldiers for its reign. Unlike Godzilla, a force of balance, GHIDORAH embodies chaos and conquest. It does not seek coexistence, but total rule, reshaping ecosystems and bending nature itself to alien will. Every step signals apocalypse. Cities drown in storms, mountains shatter beneath its wings, and humanity's weapons crumble in futility. To face GHIDORAH is to confront an extinction-level tyrant, a reminder that some kings are not guardians, but destroyers. The tripods of War of the Worlds remain some of the most iconic images of alien invasion. Towering three-legged war machines, they stride across the earth with mechanical grace and unstoppable force. In H.G. Wells' original vision, they are piloted by Martians, cold, calculating beings seeking to make Earth their new home. In the 2005 adaptation, their operators are portrayed as an enigmatic alien species that had hidden underground, waiting to rise. Their weapons embody annihilation. The heat ray sweeps across cities in seconds, vaporizing people and buildings into ash. Energy shields render human missiles and artillery useless, leaving entire armies helpless. And their conquest does not end with destruction. The tripod spread the red weed, a creeping alien vegetation that blankets the land, transforming Earth's surface into a reflection of their own world. For humanity, their presence is pure despair. Cities collapse, highways choke with fleeing refugees, and skies glow with fire as tripods hunt with impunity. To them, humans are not adversaries, but livestock, captured, drained, and consumed. Yet their defeat comes not from weapons, but from Earth itself. Microbes, invisible and mundane, bring down the invaders. The lesson is clear. Even the mightiest conquerors can fall to the smallest forces of nature. The Locust Horde from Gears of War stand among the most devastating alien threats. Though human in origin, they became something far more monstrous. Born from coalition experiments that fused children with emulsion and the DNA of subterranean beasts, the Locusts emerged as hybrids, tied genetically to Queen Mira, whose stem cells created them. When she turned on her creators and led her people deep into Mount Kadar, a hidden empire was born. After decades underground, the Locusts erupted onto the surface of Sera, launching a 17-year war that nearly annihilated humanity. Physically, they are bipedal giants, thick-skinned, heavily muscled, with superior endurance and resistance to toxins. Their large eyes grant depth perception and vision in darkness, while many possess heightened senses of smell, able to track humans even in pitch-black tunnels. Yet, the Locusts were not savage beasts. They forged advanced weapons, built war machines, and fought with military precision. Their hierarchy was strict, centered on Queen Mira's rule. Despite their dominance, a hidden genetic flaw led to the Lambent epidemic, mutating their ranks and sparking civil war. In the end, this weakness, born from their unnatural origins, was as destructive as any human weapon, bringing the Horde to the brink of collapse. The behemoth of the mist is less a monster than a revelation. When it emerges from the fog, towering over the ruined world, it reframes everything seen before. The spiders, flyers, and scorpion-limbed predators suddenly appear small, fragments of a much larger alien ecosystem spilling through the dimensional rift. Its size defies comprehension. Massive legs like walking mountains crush the earth with each step. Its body stretches so high into the clouds of mist that the head is barely visible, tentacles swaying with the calm inevitability of something too vast to fear opposition. Unlike the frantic predators that stalk humans, the behemoth passes with indifference, a titan unaware of our existence. That indifference is its terror. You cannot shoot it, trap it, or even imagine resisting it. Its very presence signals humanity's irrelevance in the new order of life. Against such a scale, survival is no longer about fighting, but enduring, hoping to remain unnoticed as the world reshapes around you. In Stephen King's vision, the behemoth embodies cosmic insignificance. It is awe and annihilation fused into one silent figure, a reminder that the greatest horrors are not those that hunt us, but those so immense they don't even need to. The alien from Super 8, often nicknamed Cooper, is not the conqueror one might expect. Stranded on Earth after its ship crashed, it was captured by the US military and subjected to years of brutal experimentation. What humans saw as a monster was, in truth, a prisoner desperate to go home. Standing several meters tall, Cooper has an insectoid frame, long limbs, clawed hands, and a face that shifts between menace and sorrow. Its strength is immense, capable of tearing through steel and leaping great distances. Yet its most extraordinary gift lies in technology. The ability to control swarms of white nanocubes that reconstruct matter, even rebuilding its starship from scattered debris. To the townspeople, the alien's presence meant terror, disappearances, wrecked buildings, and attacks in the dark. But its violence was born not from malice, but from pain. In the film's climax, Cooper spares young Joe, recognizing the boy's grief mirrors its own captivity. As Joe lets go of his mother's locket, the alien completes its ship and departs Earth, finally free. In Super 8, Cooper is more than a monster. It embodies trauma, loss, and release, showing that even the most terrifying creature may only be seeking a way home. These alien creatures each carry their own kind of terror, whether through brute strength, endless swarms, or forces that rewrite reality itself. They remind us that the unknown is often the most frightening, and that survival may come down to more than weapons or courage. If you want to see more explorations of the most terrifying monsters in film, hit like, share with your friends, and subscribe for the next deep dive. The galaxy is full of nightmares, and we're just getting started.